LaRey Pablo, I had sort of known her through her work for a little while, and I was incredibly impressed.
I've done Sid Vicious, Ray Charles, and then we're gonna be doing, of course, Amy Winehouse.
She's producing pieces now that would get the type of attention that high-end artists would get in New York and LA. These pieces that she's producing are high art.
She started with the Life magazine covers, where she took the Mexican Day of the Dead and incorporated that artwork and that imagery into famous Life magazine covers. And that received rave reviews.
I like The Walking Dead, and it just kind of was like, oh, maybe if I put Marilyn Monroe and zombie kind of whatever, maybe I could get that.
She had a stroke in her 20s.
Things can happen very quickly. With no planning, you go out in the morning, a twist of fate occurs, and then your whole life can potentially change.
She was already going to college. She was developing as a person. She was well on her life's direction.
They kept saying, oh, it's a stroke, and I kept saying, no. I was in a coma for a month, and then when I got better, I couldn't talk and couldn't do anything. It was very difficult, and I wanted to be with my children and couldn't come, you know. So I just kind of was like, I don't want to talk to anybody.
Really took a lot of effort to simply engage with her and to get her to respond.
Her grandmother had to step in and almost take on the parental role because of the nature of the injury. LaRey couldn't have her children living with her.
Naomi was 2, and Takaya was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, was 7. When they did start coming to see me and everything, my littlest one was like jumping up and down in the wheelchair and everything. Naomi's the one that had me fighting. About 6 months after, I started realizing that it was like, you're not gonna sit there. I've got my children, and this is just how it's gonna be. But it was like, where do you go after that?
Mindscape is a full-service provider. We predominantly specialise at this moment in time for individuals with acquired and traumatic brain injuries. When she came in, she was introverted in the way she worked in very small mediums, was very quiet, didn't really speak up. The nature of the injury caused something called expressive aphasia. LaRey knows what she wants to say, but she picks up the wrong word, or made us have trouble getting that word for a few moments.
She has paralysis on one side. It affected the left lobe of her brain, so she has to now function more using her right brain. She was even right-hand dominant, and that's where she developed paralysis.
We saw the talent, and we started to work with her to teach her how to produce art in different mediums. We moved her away from her comfort zones and started to make the work larger and give her more confidence.
The art blossomed. I believe it's directly affected to the right brain thinking that she does.
First we were doing guitar picks. That was from Sid. Then we did Ray, which was pianos. Oh, goodness. And now we're doing microphones. And it's kind of challenging, but I like challenge.
What we've seen over a period of time is that growing in confidence, and with the growing in confidence, you've seen the work grow. Sid Vicious, Never Mind the Bollocks album cover, which is an 8-foot by 8-foot piece, which you've got to be confident to do. There's no ifs, ands, and buts about that. You've got to have some confidence to even attempt to plan it and then pull it off, which she did.
It's the process, because I'm like, okay, if I put this here, and then this goes over here, oh, that's gonna be good, you know? So I'm already like picking out everything. And then when it's all finished, I'm like, oh God. But I like it. I do. Actually, I do. Because it just makes me, it's calming. That's my art.
The big piece with LaRey, she has a perspective that nobody else has. And now through that work, she can raise awareness for acquired and traumatic brain injuries, raise awareness for employers as well to say, you know, we don't have to have the individual come in and quick clean the bathroom. Maybe they can do something else. And it also helps everybody understand that every individual with these injuries is an individual. That's the key thing. And take the time to work with them to identify what their skills are.
The road to recovery for LaRey has really sort of spiked tremendously in the last few years that she's been here at Mindscape.
At some point, I was just like, I just want to not do anything, you know. But you got things that you have to accomplish, and you're not just going to sit there and have pity. So you got to get up.